Hello, my name is Denise, and I am a disruptive innovator. You may be asking yourself, what does she mean by that? I can feel the eyebrows going up. But allow me to give you a description of disruptive innovation that I discovered recently. Disruptive innovation is an innovation that simplifies and makes more affordable products and services to undesirable or ignored markets. Whereas established companies typically strive to improve their products and services for their profitable customer base, largely ignoring the needs and desires of untapped segments. Sound familiar? Well, now let's look at it for a minute. In business theory, disruptive innovation is innovation that creates a new market and value network or enters at the bottom of an existing market and eventually displaces the established market leading firms, products, and alliances. Now, with that definition of disruptive innovation, I'm going to ask you to take a journey with me back in time to 1963, St. Louis, Missouri, my hometown, the year that I was born. My first memories at the age of 4 years old actually was of my neighborhood, my block. My block was lined with beautiful trees, rose bushes were in the yards, beautiful 2-story, 3-story homes with beautiful manicured lawns. I could still smell the fresh smell of cut grass. I could see children playing Mr. Softy Truck going up and down the street with the bell ringing. It was a community. However, at that very tender young age, I understood that there was no home ownership on my block. The reason I knew this is there was always tension around the homes because you never wanted to make the owner of the home upset because you could be evicted. Because we didn't own the homes, they were rented. I remember catching lightning bugs on those same streets and having to be back on that porch, but we had no ownership in that house. As a very young person, home ownership in a community, I realized that you had to be able to have access in order to participate in the process in which would create legacy. Here are some alarming statistics. Today, Black home ownership rate hit its lowest since the 1960s. That's unlikely to change in these next few years, being we're in a pandemic state. That is sad news, but even worse, there has never been a time in America's history where a majority of Black Americans were ever homeowners. No legacy equals no foundation. That's why there's a generational wealth gap that has never been closed and that's growing even larger as I'm speaking. In the second quarter of 2019, the Black home ownership rate dropped 40.6%, down 7 percentage points. I didn't say 46, I said 40.6. Down from a decade earlier, 7 percentage points, while the white ownership rate is far higher, approximately 74%, and standing strong. Generational wealth should be afforded to everyone. The foundation and the legacy should be available to us all. Now, the innovation and solution I would like to extend to each and every one of you, including myself. Everyone under the sound of my voice, hear this. Let's buy some blocks. However, I feel a sense of urgency. It's escalated urgency concerning these communities, which millions of us and our families live. We must all be aware that we must invest time, resources, and training into our neighborhoods that can blossom into a community. That's how pride is developed where you and I reside. We all want to be housed in a safe community, so let's talk solutions. Let's talk disruptive innovation. Buying our blocks would look something like this. Housing tiny homes, replacing abandoned, burned out old buildings. It's been successful, already tried and true in Detroit, Michigan. It's a game changer. We're not trying to reinvent the wheels or change them if they're not flat, but we want to duplicate what works. Families with low income to no income will reside and rent the home for 3 years. Veterans and women with children will have priority on these lists. At that point, after the 3-year period, home ownership and the title will be transferred to that family, creating and building legacy. Whew. The family at that point will be responsible only for the property tax. Infrastructure. We will have schools, clinics, grocery stores, nail shops, barber shops, laundromats, community centers. We need empowerment centers to teach our young people and the elderly about finances, home ownership, trade schools, and coding. I remember when they were in the neighborhood. Community policing, it will come from within. If you police the community, you must live in it. Therefore, you would know us. Elected officials from our community must represent us and be held accountable. You can just close your eyes and reimagine. I can see it. We can build a community if we build up the people, the pride, and the unity, all races. When we come together united, we will decide together. Ownership will become a reality, no longer a distant dream. When we buy back our blocks, our old neighborhood, or the block down the street, the time is now. I heard a fearless queen say at 77 years young, Mrs. Pat Mitchell, she said in her TEDx Talk, dangerous times calls for dangerous women. Not dangerous because we are to be feared, but dangerous because we are to be fearless. Yes, yes. You and me, we can no longer be silent in order to be safe. The Bible says many hands make light work. We can build and buy back our diverse community that represent us all. Everyone is welcome to assist, teach, and develop. Yes, a reimagined community. An African proverb goes like this. It says, if you want to go far, fast, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. I see us moving together. No more redlining. No more exclusionary processes. Everyone that's elected will be held accountable. No more killing us while we sleep. A show of hands. Where are my disruptive innovators? Are you in the house? Are you dangerously fearless? Let's buy some blocks. Yes, we can do it. Disruptive innovators are being built here. Yes, indeed. And you know what? The Bible also says in Queen Esther, the 4th chapter, the 14th verse, the International Version says, for if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Are you ready to make a change? Because I know I am. I have come to the kingdom for such a time as this. And I'm ready to be a disruptive innovator. Are you? I look forward to working with you, to growing our communities, because we can make a difference. Thank you for your time and your attention. Thank you.